Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Mississippi. We're here today to discuss a landmark prison reform bill.
It's a tremendous tragedy that we have become the country that has the highest level of incarceration in the world.
America is going to arrest more than 11 million people this year. That's about 21 people a minute.
Even though we lock up a high percentage of our population, we still have a problem with crime.
Whenever I give a mandatory minimum, I'd say about 80% of the time I think it's unjust.
Wait a minute, I'm backing you up.
Yeah.
80% of the time?
Sure.
If we don't have punishments that fit the crime, we're going to drive people into our welfare system and back into a life of crime in ways that we all would agree we don't want to happen.
You have to ask yourself, do we need to put this person, a nonviolent crime, a victimless crime, there are other ways to punish them than spending $25,000 to $50,000 a year putting them in a box.
Some politician may be happy going back to their constituents and say, oh, I really hammered these folks, but that hammer comes at a cost to the rest of society.
And it's a reminder to us that the current system hasn't worked. It has taken mild offenders and turned them into hardened criminals, and that's the opposite of the direction we want to go in.
We have to continually, from the conservative standpoint, remind our prosecutors that we expect them to act as a filter, not just a hired gun.
In 2013, Governor Phil Bryant assembled the Governor's Task Force on Criminal Justice Reform.
The current approach of most of the criminal justice system is to lock people up for a long time so they end up learning from hardened criminals. So when they leave jail, the only thing they're really fitted for is to commit crime until they go back to jail. Now that is a pretty destructive, stupid system.
Incarceration is necessary when individuals are violent or have committed crimes that deserve that. But it ought to be a last resort, not a first resort.
And what we were finding was recidivism rate here in the state of Mississippi. We were locking people up all over the state for a long, long time and finding that in many cases, within a matter of months, these same offenders are repeating crimes or committing worse crimes and back in the prison system. So something wasn't working.
We're on track to ultimately save the state $264 million over a 10-year period.
And better lives.
That's right. To make more taxpayers than tax burdens, and that's what we're all focused on doing.
And we're all better off when former inmates can receive and re-enter society as law-abiding, productive citizens. What we'll have here is communities will be safer by helping inmates gain the skills that they need to obtain jobs and stay out of prison after they are released.
Conservatives want to see reform in government generally, and they definitely want to see reform when it comes to our criminal justice system.
So we have to begin to focus on watching the courts, the judges, the prisons, to make sure they serve the general good instead of just the bureaucrats involved.
This is a question that is enveloped in all of criminal justice reform. Can the individual turn from a bad path and get on a good path? I think they absolutely can.